$4 an hour. The significance is 0.000. Does that mean 0% chance that it came from this 750 world? No. It means it's so small that it's less than 0.001, right? This P is less than 0.001. So here we reject the null. That's probably not the population that this is drawn from. Based on this sample, what's the average wage of workers? Hourly pay. You could also check, make sure that descriptive confidence intervals are being used 95%. But that's always checked by default. And so here you want to say something like, based on the sample, the true average, the mean of, the true mean population of, the true population mean is somewhere between $3.84 and $4.44, and we have 95% confidence. That's number 2. Any questions so far? All right, number 3. What test is this? Goodness of fit. And here, below minimum wage. All right, should we do all categories equal?
No.
No. Well, is it 20/80 or 80/20? How do you know?
That's 20/80.
It's 80/20, and here's how I know. You want to look at, the first one you should put in is for 0, right? 0 is the less than minimum wage. So 80% is the number for less than minimum wage, and 20% is the number for greater than minimum wage.
I think you put 20 first.
Did you have a question back there, Karen?
Can you put it on this board?
Oh, right, because you guys are so far away.
Thank you.
Forgot.
Oh, it didn't matter that it was a point. I tried to calculate.
But I'm sure that doesn't
Oh, I
matter.
should have done that for the other class. Why didn't anyone ask me that?
They're fools.
Yeah, that'd be much easier to see.
Why is my computer going down? I'll probably send you a text.
Oh, yours is probably the master computer for this class. To me, that comes up later.
Why is it going straight? Playing a stupid camera.
Oh, yeah.
Does everyone see me on their boards?
Yeah. You know why? Because I live in
Alright.
Damn, that's just annoying.
So number 4, are high-skilled employees equal than low-skilled employees? What test is this? Independent samples, or you can send them to Nova. So we want to put in skill as our grouping variable, high skill versus low skill. Hourly pay as the test variable. So here, let's take a quick look at the T. The T is like 10. So remember the smoots? That's 10 jumps away. 10 smoots away. That's pretty far on the T distribution, right? Even being out 2 is pretty far. So 10 smoots away is pretty far. So the significance, the p-value is less than 0.001, right? And we could just look at the means to say, you know, the low-skilled people are paid significantly less than the high-skilled people. Number 5, are all employees equally likely to be fired or kept on in winter? What test should we run? Goodness of fit. And here we could just put all categories equal. Or if you wanted to use values, you could use 50-50. Right? Because we're trying to test whether they'll be equally likely to be fired or kept on. Equally, 50-50. All right. And they significantly different from being equally likely to be fired? They're not different from that,
No.
right? If you look at the chi-square, it's pretty small. If you look at the significance level, it's like 65%, right? There's 65% chance that this distribution came from this population where it's
That's not you, right?
Are high-skilled employees more likely to be paid overtime than low-skilled employees? What kind of chi-square? Homogeneity. Crosstabs. Right? Our grouping variable goes in the columns. What's our grouping variable?
Skill.
Skill. And what is the proportion that we're looking at? Overtime. And remember, when you do crosstabs, you want to make sure you click on statistics and pick chi-square. If you don't do that, they don't calculate the chi-square for you. When you need to just select some of the cases. That's why
Because if you have
yeah, so like, let's say I just asked you, oh, do low-skilled employees, are they equally likely to be fired in winter or kept on? Right? That would be just for the low-skilled employees. This has everybody, right? Low-skilled. Or if I said, for the Koreans, are they equally likely to be fired or kept on, right? Then you would select the Koreans. Alright, so let's look at this one with the scale stuff, right? This is actually a really important one. What do you notice about the frequency here? I think somebody asked, I forget which class it was in. But down here it says 2 cells have expected counts less than 5. What does that tell you about this chi-square?
You
Can't use it.
It's not reliable.
This does not meet the requirements of doing a chi-square. So if this question was on the test, you know what you would write for your APA style? I could not do a statistical test to answer this question.
You just put like NA.
Yeah, you could just put NA.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to do a chi-square when you have less than a count of 5 in and basically, you want to watch out for those kind of little things.
Dr. Fett?
All right. Are the high-skilled employees
Dr.
significant? Yeah.
Can you repeat that again?
Which part?
The one where you said that we could not
You could just put NA, test not available, can't do a statistical test, and it just put the count.
Remember the Google was listed.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do a chi-square. So it would be the same if I gave you a very skewed, small data set and asked you to do a t-test.
Overtime says 1.
You should actually shoot that back to me and say, hey, can't do a test.
You remember the rules? Yeah, you have to do it, but then you realize that you can't do it anymore because it's just at 5. That's the test you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do that test, but then you figure it out. It's like, oh, you can't.
Do we need to do number 7?
Yes.
Okay, let's do all of them. Alright. So number 7 is also an independent samples t-test. So it's skill is the grouping variable, age is the test variable, right? So the average age of the low-skilled workers is about 27. The average age of the high-skilled workers is about 27. Are they significantly different from each other? Oh, no, they're not. 68% chance that they were drawn from the same population distribution.
It's the one I was under the one I had 2.
All right, number 8. What kind of test is 8? Homogeneity. All right, so skill is still the grouping variable. Tips garnish. All right. So here, what do you see? Is one group of workers more likely to have their tips taken than the other group?
No.
Yeah, no, right? But take a look at the p-value. What's the p-value? 0.051. Is that less than 0.05? No, it's just slightly greater than. So they are different from each other. They're just not significantly different. They're not at the level that passes statistical muster, right? So you would say, no, there's no difference. But there is a relevant Ryan Gosling joke that you could insert here.
No.
It is on our announcements page. Hey girl, don't you ever feel like you have a p-value of 0.051? There's also this one where it's like, let's get non-parametric. Remember, chi-squares are non-parametric tests because they're not trying to estimate a population tremor. Yeah. No likes on Facebook. No likes on If you have to explain what non-parametric is, it's not a great show. All right.
Dr. G,
Yes.
just to reassure you, we're only paying attention to the chi-square, right?
Yes, only the Pearson chi-square. All of these are other kinds of tests you could do, but we're just doing a chi-square test of homogeneity. Other crap was going to come along for the ride just because SPSS does all of it at the same time. But you don't need to worry about it. Likelihood ratio is also a really common one, but you need a little bit more algebra. Okay. What about 9? What kind of chi-square is 9?
Homogeneity.
Homogeneity. All right, homogeneity. Here we see that these groups are significantly different in how they're being treated, right? So if you look at the high-skilled workers, about half the time they're reporting infrequent treatment, right? But for the low-skilled workers, it's like about a third of the time they're reporting infrequent treatment. So they're significantly different from each other.
That's number 10.
All right, number 10. What are we doing in number 10?
ANOVA.
And there's no like ethnicity factor, but language is just as good of a stand-in. And I like to put in the descriptives and the post-hoc test all at the same time so that I don't have to read it again just in case I get something significant. So here we have something significant. And so what do we conclude? There is a significant difference between one or more of these groups, but we don't know which group until we go down to the post-hoc tests, right? And in the post-hoc test, which are the two groups that are significantly different? Korean and Spanish speakers. They're significantly different. And it seems that if you look at the difference, like you could either look at Spanish minus Korean or Korean minus Spanish. Koreans are being paid on average about $1.30 more, right, per hour. But Spanish is not significantly different from Vietnamese. Spanish not significantly different from Chinese. Chinese not significantly different from Vietnamese. Like all the other pairwise comparisons are not significantly different. P's, all those P's greater than 0.05. All right. Are the proportions of Koreans, Chinese, Vietnamese, Spanish workers similar inside the city and outside the city? What are we doing here? Homogeneity. What is our grouping variable?
Language.
Is that the groups? Or are those the samples or the groups?
Inside and outside.
Yeah, it's location. Inside and outside the city, right? And the thing that we're looking at the categories for are the proportions, right? That's language. And when you see that, are the proportions different inside versus outside the city? P equals 0.909. All right, number 12. What are we doing in number 12? Homogeneity. All right, in number 12, what are the different samples or the different groups?
The grouping variable is the ethnicity and then the.
Yeah, now the grouping variable is ethnicity, and the proportions or the categories are skill. And what do we see here? Are the proportions different across these ethnicities?
Yes.
Yes, significantly different. And it's probably this Korean one because in the Korean sample, there's more high skill than low skill workers, but in all the other examples, there's more low skill than high skill workers, right? Another way that they're discriminating by maybe only giving training to some work versus another. All right, number 13. What kind of test? Goodness of fit.
Yeah.
All right, goodness of fit. What's our variable here? Language. Right? Were there equal proportions of each language group? So what's our expected?
Yeah.
You could put in 25, 25, 25, 25, or all categories equal. Right? And what we see is that the chi-square is significant, right? P less than 0.05. So it's saying this is not an equal representation of everybody. It seems like they had way more Koreans, right? Because there's 99 versus 66. But we had fewer than expected Spanish and Vietnamese. But Chinese, it seems like we were pretty close. Thereabout. All right, number 14. What's number 14?
CI.
Is it, how many samples do we have? One. So is that a CI or T-test? CI, very good. Let's do a CI. So you want to say something like, we have 95% confidence that the true mean basic manicure price in New York is between $11.73 and $13.34, or 33 cents. Number 15, one sample t-test. So we put in manicure price. What's our test value?
22.
22. And what we see here is, the mean of this sample is $12.53. This test is telling us that is significantly different. It would be really hard to randomly pick that sample if your population mean was 22. Right? So we reject that null hypothesis.
Somewhere.
So it's significantly lower than the nationwide average. And do workers who get minimum wage or more work in salons that have higher prices? What test? Independent sample. And what's our grouping variable? Yeah, minimum wage. Do they get minimum wage or higher? Or do they not? And manicure price is the test variable. Yeah. I think here it's 0 and 1. All right. So let's take a look at this. So people who work for less than minimum wage, they work in salons where the mean is around $11.38 for a manicure. But people who work in who get minimum wage or higher, they work in places where the manicure costs $18.49 on average, right? So here we see this T statistic that's about 4 the significance is less than 0.001. We reject the idea that they are similar. We say they are significantly different. And that's this test in a nutshell. If
We
you,
can use notes, right?
yes, all notes, everything notes. But I would not, given what happened with this whole like Google Drive thing, I would get your own notes. Because I'm not gonna be here during some of your tests, because I have to go to a thesis defense. I'm also not gonna be here for some of the other classes. Yeah, I have all these thesis defenses and stuff. So I don't want something like that to go on and then you guys be like totally screwed. And then like my TAs might not be able to like recover it. So bring your own version of the notes. Like don't rely on that stuff. Like get your own.
So, like,
You can print those out or just save it to your own drive.
oh, okay.
Like put it on USB.